Hey, pretty and green.
Hi, how are you?
Those are like brand colors.
Yes.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Were you waiting for me long?
Yeah, I just came out and I was in my car.
Okay. Doing your thing?
Yes.
Who are you? I just drive around in like malls typically and people jump in.
And you just randomly pick up people?
Yeah, I do. It's my thing.
Well, my name is Corette Miller, and my company name is New Initiatives HR.
Where did you think of New Initiatives HR? Like what was the genesis of that?
Well, actually, years ago when I went to incorporate my business, which was 11 and a bit years ago,
okay,
I had a different company name. I can't even remember what it was now. But you have to go and fill out your application and do your trademark and process. And they came back and they told me that that name was taken and I needed to think of something else.
So on the spot?
It was on the spot.
I can't even think of like new passwords on the spot. You have to think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I did, and then basically I thought initiatives, like new initiatives, because I really just thought I wanted to bring something new into the realm of the world of human resources. Okay. It didn't have to be big and corporate and, that typical stereotype that might come sometimes with, the human resources function and professionalism. So that's where it came up with.
So you've been in business for 11 years.
Yes.
And operating in Durham region out of Whitby?
I've been in Durham region now for the last 4 to 5 years. Prior to that, most of my work was in the city of Toronto. Okay. Yeah, so then I changed my focus and function 4 or 5 years ago and said I want to bring it to the community that I live in and where I grew up. Nice. Well, since I was a teenager, since 85.
Okay. Where did you grow up exactly?
In Pickering. Went to Pickering High School.
Okay.
Yeah, so moved here from Newfoundland for the beginning of grade 10, which was a very big transition. Yeah, but I lived in Durham region most of my life since.
That's great. So before we keep going, I should introduce you also as one of our board members.
I am.
You are very active also on our golf committee. What other committees and sort of leadership initiatives have you taken on with the chamber? Because it's nice to see different people having different experiences through the chamber.
This year, I was a board member last year, and this year I've taken on the role of VP to support the board in that role. So that brings me involved and gets me involved a little bit more in the executive committee. So that's great, and still very active in the golf, because anyone who knows me knows that golf is a passion of mine. Not the greatest golfer, but love being out there.
Hey, I'm not criticizing. I wear those crazy pants I have to wear every year, and that's the gist.
So that's really exciting to be that much involved in the chamber, and to be, hopefully be able to support and work with the chamber continuing its quest to be the voice of our businesses. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks for that. Because it's your chamber.
Yeah.
Their chamber.
It is
Business's chamber, right?
Exactly. So it's really exciting. Years ago, I would never have thought that I would be part of on the board. I'd always thought I'd be part of communities. I volunteer a lot and always have for many different things. Because I've been vice chair for Big Brothers and Big Sisters Southwest Durham for 11 years now.
So why volunteer? So what's the genesis of you thinking volunteering is a good thing? I'm assuming it is.
I guess I was just raised with it. My family, we didn't have, I grew up in a very small town in Newfoundland, but my grandfather and my grandmother always gave to others, always gave to the community. We had a farm where I was raised on 10 acres, and we had a huge potato farm, well, not huge, 8 acres of potatoes.
Hey, it's a bigger farm than I have in Curtis.
So my grandfather would always drive around actually and give potatoes to people that he knew in the community and needed it. So I guess it was
So we're driving here in South Whitby.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about, if I were to stalk you, where I'd find you in the Whitby area?
In the Whitby area.
Yes.
Well, not too far from here actually. I reside in South on the shores.
Okay.
So a nice little townhome down there I got for 7.5 years ago.
Nice.
So I moved it's still great. When I'm not there, I'm in the local restaurant, the Royal Oak. That's my place. They have really good salmon. So I go there for my salmon dinners and watch sports.
Yes.
So my football games, and unfortunately no longer any hockey.
No. No, I think a lot of people are shed a little tear.
Yes. But my other passion is also the startups. You know, and because of all the changes in the last 2 years, I've actually had a lot of companies who haven't even opened their doors yet, not even hired their first employee, and said, I was told I should call you.
Nice. Yeah, that's a nice problem to have, isn't
exactly. And that's really great, because now that brings me to me being proactive. And we get the business owner to be proactive, and we can work with you right from the beginning. It's simple. We get your structure in place. Like, would you build a house without building your foundation first?
Right.
Well, why would you build the business without building your foundation?
Well, because you're in a hurry.
Yeah, you're in a hurry. But I want...
You're trying to drive revenue.
And that's great, because I get to partner with them. And that's truly what I'm not a one-time thing. We don't want to come in and just do one-time thing with you and walk away. We want to partner with you as you continue to grow your business, and, you know, change. It's evolving every day, the business world, your business, and it's amazing. I have such pleasure when I can see an organization do that. So. And my passion is, I left the corporate world. I had nice jobs in Toronto, and I left that to come out and support the organizations like that, because it's the risk is just so high. And, you know, we're there can really, really help you and partner with you to help reduce those risks.
Question for you.
Yes.
Why HR? So how did you land in this particular profession?
I fell into it after you know, a year after high school. I didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. I was struggling. Then I took off on a plane, one-way ticket down to Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And I got a job at Boca Chica on a beach, on a restaurant on the beach in Boca Chica, which is just outside Santo Domingo. And I worked there on the beach for 4 months. And then I came home, and I'm like, okay, now I need to make some money. And I took a receptionist job at STS Motors. And STS Motors was a car dealership of Mazda, Volvo, and Isuzu. And they had about 110 staff. And a little while, you know, maybe a month or so after I was there, their payroll person / HR person left. And they asked me if I'd be interested in the position. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, what is HR? Because it was so early in the 90s. And they said, don't worry about it. We like your personality. And they sent me back to school, and they put me through all the training.
You're kidding. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really great.
Wow.
So that was the step from there. And then
you owe them, huh? Somebody saw something in you, and you always do remember sort of cultivating that.
You know, employees want to succeed. There's very few employees out there who don't want to do great for you. They all want to come in. You hired me. I want to do an amazing job for you. I want to stay here. I want to be part of this business. I want to see the change. You know, but if we're not, as you know, setting them up and giving them their tools and communicating with them so they can be successful, they're going to go somewhere else. Right. So. And, you know, it depends to, you know, there's all kinds of theories, Maslow's theory and stuff, where you are in life, of what's going to attract you and retain you. The younger you are, starting off your career, money. We all drive for money, but then as times change, sometimes we want to be part of a community, or we want to be something new
closer
technology, new for home. Like all these different factors come into place. You know, we have 3 generations in the workplace now. That's another challenge for business owners. How do I keep all these 3 different generations happy? You know, how do we get these people communicating with each other and understanding each other and not offending each other?
Run away! But it's true, though, right? And when do you bring in younger employees, and how much investment do you want to make in training them? So, word of wisdom. Word of wisdom for Corette for the spring. I don't know when this would actually be, when we're editing and airing this, but what would your, you know, it's still early in the year, what would your word of wisdom be for businesses?
I think take the time, step back and plan and ask the questions. Don't try not to be fearful of the unknown. So know what you need to know before you need to know it, by asking the questions of the right people. So and then being prepared for when you are about to grow, or, you know, changes, or when that employee comes knocking on your door and asking, you know, I just think it's just really just be prepared ahead of time. But fear stops us from asking the questions, and fear stops us from doing some of the research and not realizing it may be a little bit more of a simplistic task, or for somebody else that can help you. So ask the questions.
Ask the questions.
Don't let fear stop us.
I guess both employer and employee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't you wise? Aren't you wise?
Thanks. Thank you.